Okay. So today's Wednesday, 20th of May. We have already done 5 interviews. So we've interviewed the judges and we've started to interview some of the speakers. And today I am met with Mel Amos, who is joining us for this year's Business Ascension 2026. Now, Mel, as one of our amazing speakers this year, would you like to just introduce yourself, let people know who you are, what you do, and where you're from?
Who am I? What do I do? And where am I from? I feel like I'm on blind date. Um, I am Melissa Amos, and I work at the intersection between psychology, spirituality, energetics, and the Akashic Records. And for me, I am just obsessed with really understanding how we work as humans, how we work as spirit, and really bringing in our spiritual intelligence, which underpins everything that we do. I am the creator and founder of Akashic Reiki, which is a brand new healing modality, which is set to bring us back into our true selves and really honor that human human soul connection, and help to up level the current levels of not just coaching and mentorship, but also healing as a whole in this space. I live in Hertfordshire. I work online. I have clients all around the world, and I think that's me.
Oh, that's amazing. I
Thanks.
love what you've done with taking something that you felt a little bit disconnected from and you've converted it into something that creates change. So tell me a little bit more about how you've brought Reiki into the Akashic Records.
So I've been working with the Akashic Records for a long time. So those who don't know what the Akashic Records are, they are your soul's library. They're this energetic space that holds everything that your soul has ever done, said, wanted, been. And for me, whenever I've gone in there, I've been met with this incredible energy of unconditional love, this incredible energy of non-judgment, and this knowing from a really high level that everything that we do and that we go through as a human is there for a reason. Like, it forms part of our ascension pathway, who we're becoming, how we become more of ourselves. And I got really curious because everything that I was seeing around the Akashic Records was like, well, let's heal this money block, or let's heal this, like, whatever, or let's find out what our past lives is. And it was all about going backwards, yes, to help us where we are, but from this kind of element of that. But my experience with it over and over again was actually not so much about what happened, but the energy that was surrounding what happened. That we were holding instances in shame, in fear, in doubt. And, it was having a psychological effect on us. It was having a physiological effect on us. We were going into fight, fright. We were bracing for things that were going to happen. Our patternings and our internal codings were going like, oh God, this isn't safe, especially in business, especially in conscious business. If you even look back 100 years ago, we were flogged for this kind of stuff, right? We hold it in our energy body. And there's quite a story, and there's plenty on that on my socials and in my website. But essentially, I was asking some really good questions. How do we really pull in the frequency of the Akashic Records? How do we create change in the spiritual industry, which is full of people with incredible work and incredible wisdom and incredible depth, but they're not getting themselves out there because there's this underlying fear or belief around what's possible for them? And I received, for want of a better term, a attunement download initiation, which came to me in the form of a flame. Um, and I've been working with that for nearly 2 years now. And what I keep discovering is it's this channel into the Akashic Records where we don't have to go and read past lives. We don't have to know who we were, but we are discovering who we are and who we are becoming without all of the, let's say, barriers to entry of I need to be psychic, I need to be able to read past lives.
Mm.
And so, yeah, I've been teaching Akashic Reiki now. I'm on the second cohort. It is creating massive change, not just in the practitioners and who they are and how they're showing up, in what they're charging, and their bravery and their willingness to be seen, and the most common thing I get what is, Marissa, I just find like I'm doing the thing that I've been meaning to do, but something's been stopping me. That's what I hear all the time. And I think it's because, well, I know it's because we're working with like almost like the psychological overlays that sit on top that are telling us this isn't safe, and we're healing and integrating that. So it's been a journey, and yeah, Akashic Reiki is now shared in the world. It's amazing.
Yeah, it sounds amazing. It really does. And something that I'm seeing a lot within this space, is there are all kinds of different modalities coming up at the moment. Like I've created my own. I've been running that for the last 6 years, and I've actually just transitioned into a different space because we evolve, don't we? We don't stay in one place all the time. And the more we evolve, the more we grow, the more we move, the more we're then able to help other people.
Right.
And we're able to reach people in a different way that maybe we weren't able to like 5 or 6 years ago. And that's why this work isn't, it never ends. Never
It
ends. It
never ends.
keeps growing and evolving.
I will tell you that I believe the purpose, and through my work in the Akashic Records, I've discovered this. Our purpose of life is to know ourselves, be ourselves, right? Trust ourselves. Why? For the purpose of evolution. We are meant to, we're either growing or we're dying. And I think that this rise in these modalities and these techniques and these opportunities for us is only going to continue. But now our job as leaders and healers is to really drill down into what actually works, how we're bringing on the whole psychology, spirituality, energetics, and the nervous system. I think it all needs to come in as a pair. And for me, my real curiosity is around, well, how is that evolving into our purpose? Because the more on purpose we are, the more we think, right? Don't we think, well, if I'm on purpose, my life is just going to flow. It's going to be amazing. There's going to be no roadblocks. Unfortunately, don't let this put you off. The more, I think the more on purpose we are, the more we have these invitations to step through into discomfort and into, facing our fears. And so we need to work with that, not just for the purpose of healing, but for the purpose of growth.
Absolutely. And I completely agree. I mean, one of the things that I've always, since moving into the spiritual entrepreneur space, is about alignment, because it was something that I learned and had a massive wake up call with. Like, if you're not in alignment, things just don't work. But when you're in your purpose, you're met with roadblocks and you're met with challenges, because your purpose is meant to evolve and grow you, which I think is just amazing. But more importantly, Mel, what you're doing in the world is absolutely phenomenal. What you've created, what you're doing, the different layers and energies that you're working with is just absolutely awesome. And we are honoured that you're joining us as one of the 2 workshop hosts for the event. So you're going to be running a workshop on the 9th of July around Akashic Reiki. And within that Akashic Reiki space, what can everyone expect from you?
Oh, I just got goosebumps. Love the goosebumps. What can you expect? So where my real focus has been over the last year is this, especially for business owners, is what makes people succeed. Like why in some spaces people walk away with like all the clients and like all the money and all the visibility and all the opportunities, and some people don't. Same mentors, same techniques, same whatever. And I've been looking at this on the level of the energetics, the psychology, and the nervous system, through the field of the Akash. And so what can you expect is this real understanding of, well, what is it that is, when I'm right at that moment of expansion, why do I hold back? What's going on there? And I think you'll come away with this knowing that your business, if you're on this path, your business is part of your evolution path. And if that is true, which I believe it to be, the responsibility and the opportunities that we have to grow more into ourselves from our business. And for me, that's really exciting.
Yeah, I do believe in that. I do believe that we don't come into this business space to just generate an income. we come into this to evolve as humans
For sure.
and then help have an impact with other humans,
Hmm.
which then creates the ripple effect as to what, what we're here for ultimately.
For sure.
So that's on the 9th of July. We're going to have the honor of spending this time with you. You're going to be teaching us the Akashic Reiki and how you've formulated it and made it so wonderful. So Mel, what drove you initially to think, do you know what, I want to be part of this event this year?
The spiritual space is really important for me, for one thing. I see in the world that this is where we're going to create the biggest change. I think that spiritual and conscious entrepreneurs have a quite unique set of challenges that are exasperated because of our level of depth, our level of intuition, and our level of care. I see over and over again how many people who could change the world, or even, their clients' lives, kind of hide behind or pull back from being in their full power. And I think it's quite a simple fix. Not that it's broken. I think I should say this. It's quite a simple evolution. And it's really important for me that more good people can step into their power.
Absolutely.
The other side of it is people who aren't in the spiritual businesses, right? But who are spiritual in business. I see that as another massive opportunity, that the more people who are aware of their spiritual intelligence and work with their spiritual intelligence in a corporate setting, in, doing whatever they're doing, and they can anchor this purpose in their work, I can see how that will also create massive change. So for me, the Business Ascension Symposium really aligns with what I'm trying to do in the spiritual space.
Brilliant. Thank you for sharing that. I shared a reel a couple of weeks ago on the Business Ascension Instagram account, and it was from Katie Burkett, one of our judges, who spoke last year. And she actually said this event had to happen.
Mm-hmm.
It needed to go ahead because people like her who are not spiritual in business but are awakening to their spirituality need a safe space to walk into.
Yeah.
And obviously over the months and stuff, I haven't like gone over all of the content. It just happened to pop out at that specific time when I was looking at creating some reels to show people what we're doing.
Mm-hmm.
And in that moment I thought, oh crap, I forgot the reason that we are creating this space. Like, it's not just for people that are spiritually awake and don't feel like they haven't got a space to be. This is for people that are spiritually awake and don't know where to go. They
Yeah.
just don't know where to go. So
Yeah.
thank you so much for sharing that, Mel. I'm super duper excited about this event. Like, I really, really am. I know the magic that's going to be created from the stage alone is going to be life changing, and I can feel it. I'm just so calm about it. That's how I know it's going to be so amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so, Mel, you've got a lot going on. You're going to join us on the 9th of July. You're running the workshop. You're joining us for VIP day.
Yeah.
It's all going to be completely magical and wonderful. So where can people find out a bit more about you, and where can they connect with you so they can get to know you before they arrive?
So come and find me on Facebook, Instagram. I am the Melissa Amos. And I have a podcast. They are great 20-minute episodes. They release every week. It's called the Mystic in Training podcast. It is a treasure trove of bite-sized depth on what it actually means to be a mystic in training, and how we bring spirituality into our humanness, how we bring our humanness into our spirituality, running a business, the psychology around it. It is absolutely brilliant. So just find that on your favorite streaming app. It's the Mystic in Training podcast.
Brilliant. Thank you so much. So go and check out Mel, get on Facebook, Instagram, go and check out the podcast. And if you haven't got your ticket for the event yet and you're thinking, I need to be in the room, go and get it. There will be a link around the video somewhere. Have a look. Right, Mel, thank you so much for joining me today. It's been an absolute pleasure to chat with you. I can't wait to see you at the event.
I can't wait to be there. You're putting on something absolutely incredible. And I think anyone who is conscious and wants to run a successful business, or conscious and wants to be more grounded in their spirituality, just come along. Like, this is the celebration that we need to start driving what we do forward.
Absolutely. And it is a celebration completely.
Mm-hmm.
There we go. 9th of July 2026. We'll see you in the room.